Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the workshop. It is fantastic to have you here, and even more fantastic because I want to say a quick thank you to today's sponsor, and that is Storyblocks. Now, Storyblocks is the one-stop shop for all of your stock images, stock video, stock audio file needs. Just fantastic for your next creative project. Make sure that you go to storyblocks.com/YouTube so that you can get a free trial. Thank you, Storyblocks. We're going to say a little more about them at the end, but first, let's get on with the video. So how did today get started? Now, I got up nice and early, had a great gym session. That was a lot of fun. And then I drove. A friend of mine owns a tree surgery company, and he knew that we're making this HUNGA MUNGA, and so he said, hey, I think you need a stump. We are felling a tree. Do you want to come help out? So I went and helped out, and here are a few clips from that. Oakley dokley. Ever since I was a kid, I was always fascinated with tree surgery and felling trees and stuff like that. Anytime I got the opportunity, always enjoyed running my father's chainsaws. It was awesome getting to see the pros do it and the surgical precision with which they fall this stuff. Incredible. Thank you so much, John, for letting me come hang out. And now it is time to do the HUNGA MUNGA! Let's do it! Time to do some forging. Oh, there we did it! So of course, there is our here is our massive billet of Damascus steel. And here is how I think I'm gonna do it to make that rough shape of the HUNGA MUNGA. So what is this gonna involve? It's gonna involve chiseling this, chiseling that, bending that out, forging this out, forging that out, bringing that down. Woo! We have our work cut out tonight, and it took a lot of thinking to get to the point that I knew how I was going to chisel this out. And I'm going to be completely frank with you guys. Hi there, my name is Frank. I have no idea if this is going to work. We're going to give it a go, though, and what's the worst that happens? I waste a day's work. That's all right. We got plenty of steel. Oh, no. Flashback. We're all out of Damascus. We don't have plenty of steel, but we have plenty of normal steel, which we could just do normal steel, you know, who knows. But we're going to try making this HUNGA MUNGA. We're going to see how it goes. We're going to see. You know, you ever think that you're just convincing yourself against all odds that something's gonna work? Yeah, I think I'm lying to myself. As the saying goes, if in doubt, oh, that landed right on my foot. As the saying goes, if in doubt, hit it with a hammer, don't drop it on your foot though. Oakley dokley, chisel cut number 1, let's give her a go. Right, next heat. Woo! Oh boy, do I love me some hand hammering. This has been fun. So I have chiseled out the first parts of this Hunga Munga. It is going rather fantastically. The pattern, now it's a really simple pattern. We went with that because I'm excited to see it flow around the Hunga Munga as we bend all of the pieces. This, of course, is gonna get bent out that way. That's gonna get bent out this way and drawn out. But we now need to start thinking about the tang. And so we're gonna start chiseling that out of there. But there's a little extra. We don't just make the tang, we also make this protrusion on the side, which naturally is another spike for hitting the target and hurting the target. We are gonna go back in the fire. We are gonna heat this puppy up, and we are gonna keep chiseling it out. You'll notice that with every cut, I take my tool out of the hot piece of steel. The reason for that is these tools aren't hardened, precisely so that if I'm on a hard anvil and I do ever accidentally go through, I'm not going to damage the anvil, which I care a lot more about than the tool. It's also for the fact that, especially when you start, it's easy to jump out of a cut. I like the added control of always looking at the cut. You see I'm holding this up at an angle because currently we're using a curved edge, which means that I can't get into the crotch. That is a terrible word to use. Because I can't get into the full back end of the cut unless I raise it up and work on the corner of that curved chisel. This is not the ideal shape to use if I'm trying to cut these type of things, but I have the curved chisels because they're really nice for other applications when you're chiseling. Just a couple more days, it'll be up, I promise. Okie dokie, we have all of our chisel lines, or at least, I hope, all of our chisel lines chiseled, and it's looking fantastic. But I understand it doesn't look like a Hunga Munga. Don't worry, I know what you're thinking. This doesn't look like a Hunga Munga. You're probably also thinking, I don't know what a Hunga Munga looks like. I'm also thinking that. I didn't say that. Anyway, to get this a little closer to the Hunga Munga shape, I'm gonna have to bend these pieces out. Then we're gonna take a grinder and files, and we're gonna file out all our chisel cuts so that it is as neat as possible, and we avoid any cold shuts. Now, a cold shut is when the material folds over itself. It can easily happen if you have a chisel cut that just kind of laps over with another chisel cut, and it's not welded. Now, with that cold shut, it can form a crack because there is a serious structural compromise in there, and this is meant to be a throwing knife, for goodness sake. It would be pretty bad if this broke on its first throw, so we want to avoid that. Thank you so much for watching today's episode. I want to make sure that we can thank today's sponsor, and that is Storyblocks. Now, Storyblocks is your one-stop shop with a very unique subscription model that means that for all your stock audio, your stock images, your stock videos, you're going to be covered with Storyblocks. They are offering you guys a 7-day free trial that you can access. There's a link in the description below, storyblocks.com/YouTube. And with that 7-day free trial, you're going to be able to access their entire library. They're constantly updating their content, and it's extremely up to date. They've already got VR and 360 video in their video catalog, so make sure for all your stock image needs, you go to storyblocks.com/YouTube for your 7-day free trial. Great way to support the channel and a fantastic way to get yourself some brilliant content. Have a lovely day. Bye-bye.